everyone, it's Amber. I'm going to go through 10 simple Pilates exercises that you can do in the comfort of your home. As far as materials, you're only going to need a mat, or if you have a carpeted area in your home, you can also do it on that portion. I have either a towel or a blanket for some extra support during these exercises. Ultimately, I'd like you all to do the exercises without the added support, but this is good for beginners, just to pad some certain areas so that we are able to use our core and not compensate with other areas of our body because we're uncomfortable in the position. So, to start, I'm going to have you come to a seated position. So however you'd like to get there, you're going to be sitting on your sit bones, nice and straight. The legs, I want the knees slightly bent, but the legs right out in front of your hips. What we're going to practice is a half roll down exercise. So wherever your legs are comfortable, you can have them closer to you for more of a challenge or further away. What we're going to do is place our hands right behind the hamstrings above the knee, and we're slowly going to lean back and then come back up to seated. The hands are there for support. As we start to lean back, you'll feel the core turn on. You can go a little bit lower or try and move the feet closer to you for an added challenge. If this is easy and you don't need the hands, you can place them out in front of you. Rocking back slightly, coming back up to seated. Keeping the back straight the entire time. We have a few more. 2, last one, coming back up. Now from here we're going to roll all the way down to our back. So I'm going to scoop forward a little bit, and you can use your hands for support as you slowly start to roll one vertebrae at a time all the way down. So from this position, this is where we're going to check in and see if we need any added support from our towel. The feet are going to be bent close to your bottom. You almost want to be able to touch your heels with your fingertips, okay? So as close as you can possibly get them. You want the whole spine touching the ground except for right below your neck. Okay, your neck will be elevated, but the rest of the spine should be touching the ground. So if you're not able to touch the ground with your head, or you feel your head hanging, this is a great place to place the added support from the blanket or the towel. If you feel a lot of space underneath your back, we're going to work on pressing our back into the mat, so I wouldn't put the towel there just yet. But I will show you, if you're unable to push your back into the mat, where you should place the towel. So to start, we're just going to turn on the core. We put our palms face down onto the mat. Our gaze is lifted towards the ceiling. And what we're going to do is try and press our spine into the mat and squeeze for 3, 2, 1, and then you relax. You'll feel as you try and press that spine into the mat that your core actually starts to work a little bit there. So we're going to do that again, pressing the palms and spine into the mat. Ready? And press. Press. 3, 2, 1, relax. We're going to do another one just like that.
So pressing the palms of the hands and the spine into the ground. Ready, go. 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're going to perform the same exercise, but we're going to try and do it with our knees lifted. So your knees are going to be bent at 90 degrees. Your hips are bent at 90 degrees, as well as your ankles. So with your feet lifted, we're going to focus on pressing our palms and our spine into the mat. Ready? And inhale. And on our exhale, we press. 3, 2, 1, relax. You can bring the feet back down. We'll do that 2 more times with a 5-second hold. So on your inhale, slowly start to bring the feet up. Exhale, press. 3, 2, 1, relax, and slowly tap the feet down. 1 more. Inhale to lift the feet. On your exhale, press. 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax the feet back down. So throughout the rest of these exercises, you're going to be focusing on pressing the spine and the hands into the mat. That helps to activate the core and take the pressure off your low back. If you're unable to fully press your spine and your hands into the mat, I would suggest practicing that first before moving on to some of these other exercises. But if you did want to try these other exercises, you can place a gentle support underneath your back. Anything that's padded is great. Anything that's squishy is good. I know there's like Pilates balls that are great. You can kind of wedge them underneath your back for support. But if you just have a towel or a blanket, you could place that here. So it's right beneath the small of your back where your hips are below the towel and your rib cage is above the towel, okay? So it should be comfortable. It shouldn't feel like it's forcing your hips up. It should feel like your whole back is supported all the way down, okay? And this is only if you're unable to fully press the spine and the hands into the ground. So we're going to do the same exercise with the knees above the hips, but this time we're going to try and tap our heel down and alternate back and forth. So you'll notice that my knees and my ankles don't move. I'm not bending down like this. I'm trying to keep 90-degree angles in the hips, knees, and ankles. And the only joint that's moving right now is my hip. So I'm pressing my palms into the ground, engaging the core to help lower that heel down. We have 2 more per side. All right, bring those feet down. Next exercise is going to be a windshield wiper, again using the 90-degree angle. So I'll show you this from two different views and then we can do it together. So we're going to take 1 foot up at a time. The other foot is planted down for support, and you're going to take the knee out to the side and back towards the center. So from this angle, you'll see the bottom of my foot, but you take it out to the side and back towards the center. So the hands can either be planted out to the side, or you can keep them alongside of your body with the palms facing down. Those ways the palms are going to be down. So we take the knee out and back in. Out and in. Little movement, doesn't have to be big. You want to make sure that your torso is stabilized throughout and the hip bones aren't coming up off the ground. If the hip bones start to come up off the ground, you can just make it a smaller movement with the knee. 3, 2, and last one. 1. Back to center and drop it down. Time for the other leg, bent at 90 degrees. We're going to take it out to the side and center. Side, center. You guys will feel this in your inner thigh, maybe the quad as well. Over time, you'll get more and more range of motion the more you practice this. Ready? 3, 2, and last one. To center and drop it down. Next, we're going to move on to leg circles. So instead of bending the knee, we're going to try and extend the leg, pushing out through the heel of the extended leg. There's a slight bend in the knee. We're not locking it out, so it's going to be a little bit bent. We're going to try and draw circles with our heel. So pressing the spine into the ground, pressing the hands into the mat. We're going to draw little tiny circles, okay? Slow and controlled. Drawing 4 circles in one direction. And then once you complete 4, doing 4 in the opposite direction. The larger the circles are, the more challenging this exercise will be. So maybe start small and over time we'll grow our circles. After you've completed 4, come back to center. Drop the foot down and extend the opposite leg. Moving in one direction, we are planting the spine in the ground as we make these circles. Try and stay nice and still throughout the core. And that's 4, switching directions. All right, extend, drop the foot down. From here, we're going to roll over onto our side. So if it's comfortable for you, I would extend one arm, take the opposite hand till it meets the ground, and then you can slowly push up. We are going to be lying down. So some people like a gentle support underneath the head while they're doing this exercise. Other people feel comfortable laying on the arm while they do it. Either way, I don't want you guys to put strain on your neck. So whatever is comfortable for you. You're going to have one hand out to the front and one hand on your hip. The top leg is going to slightly lift, and we're going to bring it forward and back to center. It's almost like a kick, but with a little bit more control. You may notice you might not be able to kick as high as when you're standing because you need control with that outer hip muscle to help levitate that foot off the ground. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. Back to center. Now, of course, we're going to do a leg lift as well. So lifting that foot up and back down. Up, back down. Good. Slowly. You'll notice all of these movements are slow and controlled. We're not forcing the leg up. We're lifting it with control and resisting on the way back down. Last one. Okay, now we get to move on to the other side. You can simply roll onto your back and rotate in the other direction. I'm gonna spin around just so you guys can see how I'm performing the exercise. Placing the hand gently down and coming out to the side. Hand on your hip, flex the foot, and slowly lift the toe up out in front of you for kicks. So it takes a lot of strength to get that foot up off the ground and hold it there. So your kicks may not have that large of a range of motion, but over time, we'll build that strength to get your kick higher and higher. 3, 2, last one, 1. Lifting our ankle towards the sky. We have 10 of these. Holding it in the extended position for just a second before you bring it back down. 3, 2, 1. All right, rolling onto the back, we have our last 2 exercises. So, lying flat. You may want to take this out from under your head unless your neck is hanging, then you can leave it under there for support. So if you had trouble imprinting your spine onto the mat before, you may want to bring your little pad underneath your back again for these final 2 exercises for a little support. So the first one is a scissor kick. What we're going to do is lift one leg up to the front and back down, one leg up to the front and back down. So with this exercise, you'll feel your hip flexors, your core turn on. We get a little bit of a break as we tap the heel back down on the mat. Your gaze should be up towards the sky. Really flex that foot. Of course, it's okay to have a micro bend in the knee as you lift it up. 3, 2, last one. All right, for our last exercise, it's called a V raise. What we're going to do is focus on lifting our toes out in a diagonal direction to almost draw a V with them. So it's a very small movement. I'll show you from the side and from the front before we perform it all together. So your hands are going to plant onto the mat. You're going to press your spine and your back muscles onto the mat. If those are able to press into the mat, you can slowly lift one toe up and then the other toe up out to the side. Toe up out to the side and out to the side. So from the front ankle, hands are down by your side, plant the back into the mat, toe on a diagonal, toe on a diagonal, up and out to the side. So we'll do 10 of these in each direction, and then we'll be done with our Pilates for today. 4, your V might be a lowercase v now, but over time we'll create an uppercase V. Last one on each leg. All right, and to come on up, you can slowly roll over to one side
And gently push yourself up to a seated position. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed these Pilates exercises. Remember, you don't need barely any equipment, just a mat and a little towel or pad or sheet to help with added support if you find that necessary.